Hello, we have 2 days till the start of March. March is the TM31 trade up month. So anytime between the 1st of March and the 31st of March, you can trade up your TM31 for your TM6. So what I'm going to show you today is the differences between the two machines. All right. Now, I'll also explain what the trade up is. So what happens with the trade up? So the current price of the TM6 is $2,359, which, if you think about it, seeing as it's been just about 10 years, well, 10 years next year since they stopped manufacturing the TM31. I remember I bought mine for, it was $1,999, and it's only gone up $360 in that 9 years. That's actually extremely good value. However, with the trade up, you get a $300 discount. So that brings it down to $2,059. And you also get, as a gift with purchase, our new Thermomix Cutter, which is valued at $199. So basically, you are getting $500 worth of value back when you trade in your TM31. This is our cutter, okay, which sits in the 6. It doesn't fit in the 31. All right. So what I'm going to do is just show you the differences between the two machines. I know the TM31 is a workhorse and a lot of people just love them, but I want you to see the difference. It's sort of like I had an old Nokia 10 years ago, and I have an iPhone, and that is the difference between them. Mine was so basic. My Nokia was really basic. It was just push buttons, no connectivity at all, apart from making phone calls. So I'm going to show you the differences. You want to keep your TM31? That's fantastic. It is, as I said, it's the workhorse. The only thing I do need to let you know is that Thermomix have said, and this is what's normal with a lot of products, that they would keep manufacturing the parts of the TM31 for 10 years after it ceased being sold. All right, 10 years is up next year. Doesn't mean to say they won't have parts next year. However, they may not be manufacturing new parts. So yeah, it came out in 2014, and the parts will not be manufactured from 2024. All right, but as we know, they're a workhorse. They go on for forever. So if that's the way you want to do it, that's fine. But what I want to do is show you the differences between the two machines, and then you can make up your mind. Okay. So first of all, the size. Okay. So I don't know if you can see this, but our TM6, the bowl is 2.2 litres. This one is 2 litres. Okay. And the varoma, can you see this one sitting up higher than, it's actually overlapping the lid of the 31. So the TM31 is 3 litres and the TM6 is 3.3 litres. So we have an extra ½ kilo of food that can be cooked in this overall. Okay, right. So take them apart, have a bit more of a look at them. Make sure I keep them separate. So a very good friend lent me her TM31, so I could do this for you. All right, let's have a look at the functions. All right, so with both of the machines, if you're cooking manually, it is still time, temperature, and speed. With your TM31, we know it's all manual here. So you select, we've got the power on, you select your time. Let's put that on there. Okay, actually, let's even look at the parts. So the lid of the TM31 has this almost like a screw, like just basically screw it on. So it locks in place there. All right. The lid of the TM6, as soon as you turn up the speed, you watch here, it locks the lid in place. Okay. Now, if the lid can't be locked in place, it will not start cooking. So that's a safety feature that's been introduced. Was there with the TM5, but also with the TM6. Okay. Now on our we just turned ourselves off here. With this, we have also this is the TM31 measuring cup. Now, I remember this very fondly, skittering across the floor all the time I took my lid off, all right? So I'd take my lid off and I'd turn it upside down and this would go all over the floor. The great thing about the TM6 is the measuring cup locks in place. So you know how when you're cooking and you get a bit of food on the top of your the inside of your lid, you can just turn it upside down and this does not fall out. So that is a fantastic new thing. I don't know how many of these I actually managed to smash on the floor. Right, okay. The spatulas. So the TM31 spatula, is it like the TM5 as well? It's a pretty rigid spatula. The TM6, can you see how much that one moves? So they've really thought about the other difference, the TM6 butterfly. Now, the TM6 butterfly is the same as the TM5 butterfly. This was somebody's PhD, so they really put a lot of research into creating the best butterfly, and you can see it's certainly got more contact with the contents of the bowl. All right, so that's another difference. Simmering basket. Get those out. All right. TM31 simmering basket, also TM5 simmering basket, has no lid. The TM6 simmering basket has a lid. So that just means that we make sure that the contents can stay in this in the simmering basket. Okay. The other thing the TM6 has is a thing called a splash guard, because the TM6, the temperature goes up to 160 degrees in guided cooking, and I will explain what guided cooking is in just a minute. But this then, when it's using the high heats, this sits on the top like that. And then because it's got the little flanges in here, they also lock in when you turn it on. Like that. Okay. All right. I think that's all the parts, the difference between the parts. It's all cool. Now, if we look at the actual machines themselves, you can see this is all very manual. Now, the scales are in 5 gram increments on the TM31. We access them just by, you like your smartphone and you swipe. We just swipe with the TM6. I'll show you the scales. You click on the scales, and these are in 1 gram increments. So if I put something on there, you can see it's 1 gram increments. It weighs in 1 gram increments up to 3 kilos. All right. And with the TM31, you have 5 gram increments up to 100 grams. And then after anything between 100 grams and 2 kilos, it's 10 gram increments. So you can be far more precise with your weighing in the TM6. What else? Oh, what an earbud. Okay. All right. What else have we got? So with this one, you set the time like this. So you just do your time up like that, or you can go a bit faster. All right. With this one, if I get back to the home screen, so we've got time, temperature, and speed. Whichever one of these is large, we turn up with the silver knob. So here my time is large, and so I just turn up like that. Okay. With the TM31, when it comes to heat, we just turn it up like this. So we can be 37 degrees, we can go 60 degrees, we can go 70, and so on, all the way up here. And we could actually have it on varoma temperature. So we've got, just going to stop that, just put it back down here somewhere. All right. So we've got 37 degrees, 50 degrees, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and varoma, which is 120, but it's a rolling boil. It creates steam. On the TM6, we have a lot more accuracy. So we've got 37 degrees, which is the same as the 31. We've got 40 degrees. We've got 45 degrees. and we've got 50 degrees. So the 40 and 45 are not on the 31. We've got 55 degrees. So basically it goes up in 5-degree increments. So we've got 55, 60, which is the same over there, 65, which the 31 doesn't have, 70, which it does, 75, which it doesn't, 80, which it does, 85, which it doesn't, 90, it does, 95, it doesn't, 98, it doesn't, 100, it does. Then we go 105, 110, 115, 120, and then we go varoma temperature. So the difference between 120 and varoma temperature is 120 is on a thermostat, so it's going to go up to that temperature and click off. Varoma temperature is the rolling ball, it keeps heating, which is what it does on the 31. Okay. To start on the 31, we obviously set the time, we set the temperature if we're using it. Sure how I get out of temperature like that. And then we manually lock the lid in place and we turn up the speed. Okay, so now it's on speed 1. Okay. So just stop that. Yeah. Okay. On this one, we set the time, which would obviously be more than that. We were doing, we'll just put that down at a very small temperature. And here we just turn up the speed. So we've got speed stir, we've got 0.5, we've got 1 all the way up to 10. Okay. With the T, I think I'm just going to do this because I'm not sure how to get rid of that. Flashing. Okay. It's just going off. Turn it back on again. Okay. With this one, the TM31, we have, obviously, we know we've got the chopping blades, and this is where we just push on reverse like that. So, and it shows if it's on reverse. Okay. With here on the speed dial, we have the chopping blade, and we also have reverse. All right. A couple more things we have on. I'm just going to take reverse off. We also have the dough mode or the kneading function here. Do that for the kneading function. And we also have turbo on here. Right, come back to the TM6. And I'm going to swipe like your smartphone. And we have a whole heap of modes. So we've got our scales, which we looked at. We've got dough mode. We've got turbo, exactly the same as the TM31. Now, we have a pre-clean. So this means you can actually put water in here and it will pre-clean your Thermix for you. Often, sorry, just got the wrong spot there. A lot of the time, all you need to do is rinse it out after that. So that's fantastic. We have an automatic blend. So if you want, a smoothie maker, you can put this on. You can, it's all guided, so you can change things. So you can put it on for your smoothie. You might want it on for 2 minutes. And then you're just going to turn that up and it's going to blend the smoothie for you. One of my faves is this one, which is the egg boiler mode. So again, a litre of water in here, eggs directly into the bowl. With the TM31, if you're going to boil a hard-boiled eggs, you need the simmering basket, need them sitting in here. With this mode, you don't. The eggs go directly in, and then you decide how you like your eggs. So do you want them soft, medium, medium hard, or hard-boiled? And turn it up to that and walk away, and it'll tell you when they're done. Kettle mode. So I just did something the other day about kettle mode. Great for poaching eggs. If you like your herbal teas at different temperatures, you can turn the temperature down here to heat the water to the right temperature. Warm-up mode, fantastic for reheating soups, casseroles, all that sort of stuff. And then we've got quite a few more modes down here. Now, when I first got my TM6, not all these modes were on here, but because it is Wi-Fi enabled, and I'll show you the Wi-Fi in just a moment, new modes just appear, or you might be asked to do an update. But there are a couple of new modes on here which just appeared for the cutter. So the other modes we've looked at that. So thicken mode, that is that comes up in your guided cooking. It's all about custard, bechamel sauce, all that sort of stuff. Rice cooker. So find a rice cooker recipe on cookidoo, which I'll explain in a minute, and it will use rice cooker mode. We've also got fermentation. which is for your yogurt. So you could make that in your TM31, but what you would need to do is you would follow the instructions of a recipe, and then you would need to pour it either into a yogurt maker or into a thermo server, wrap it up and pop it in the oven overnight to ferment. With the TM6, it ferments overnight in your bowl, or we have little jars and you can ferment overnight in your varoma. Next day, you've got yogurt ready to go. A lot easier, less washing up. We have slow cook and sous vide. Now, if you were doing those, you want the blade cover peeler. So this is for the TM5 or the TM6. It sits over the blades. It is also a host reward. So I've got my blades there. Sits over like that. And what it means is, you know, when you slow cook meat, it gets really soft. So by having that over there, it stops the meat from shredding with slow cooking. It also gives you volume for sous vide. Now, sous vide is when you're cooking in a plastic bag, you get as much air out as possible, obviously food grade plastic bag. And it is a sort of, it's a medium length cook. So your steak's going to take longer than it would on the barbecue, but it's a different consistency. You can also sous vide fruit, vegetables. You can sous vide poached eggs, I believe, too, or sous vide eggs. But this gives you volume. If you didn't have that, you would only be able to sous vide what you could fit in your simmering basket. The next mode is the peeler mode, and this is also a peeler. So you can peel your potatoes in here in 4 minutes. You can, so you know, that may sound like a long time, but it does mean, of course, that you're off doing something else whilst the potatoes are peeling themselves. What I love it for is ginger and garlic. Peel those, freeze them on a tray, and then, you know, bundle them up in a bag. I've got them in the freezer for later in the year. So at the moment, ginger, so we're talking end of February 2023, ginger is about $9.99 a kilo. In the middle of the year, it'll be $60 a kilo. So I love ginger, and so that's what I do. Peel it, chop it up, and freeze it. Okay, so that's our blade cover peeler. And then lastly, the last two modes on here are grater and slicing. And this involves the Thermix Cutter, which is part of the trader option. It comes with a shaft, a drive shaft, which literally sits over, that's only one way it can sit, sits over the blades. Then the cutter sits on top like that. And you have two sets of blades. You have on side one, you can see that side one up here, we have chopping, two widths of chopping or slicing, sorry. So think about, you know, beautiful English cucumber sandwiches with those really thin slices. You can absolutely do that. Or you can do a thicker slice for a casserole, or, you know, carrots in a casserole or something like that, or potatoes, dauphinoise. So it works really, really quickly. The other side, side two, it's always hard to show this. I don't know if you can see that at all. Anyway, this says side two up here, and it's two lots of grating. So think about a carrot sandwich, you know, a salad sandwich that you'd buy, that really fine grated carrot. You can do that in here. And then think about like pizza cheese that you'd buy at the supermarket in a bag with anti-caking agent in it. You do the thick, what's it called? The thick grating, I always forget. The thick grating, and that's how your cheese is going to come out. So this is truly amazing. So whichever side you want it, so if I'm going to slice, I put that up on there. This then sits on top like that. I have the pusher. I put my whatever I'm, you know, my carrot or whatever in here. I'm going to grate, and I choose my grating and I push down, and my carrot grates. All right, so that's the differences between the different functions. And I'm going to take the grater off, so cut it off, and take out my dry. And I'm going to come over here. So we've pretty much done everything that you can do in there. And I've shown you there's plenty more on offer on the TM6. Now, if I come into here, we can go into settings. And here it is. It's connected to my Wi-Fi. It's also connected to my cookidoo account. And I'm going to show you cookidoo in a mo. Also down here, we can do transportation mode. We can create a pin lock if we don't want other people to use it. System of measurement. Some of the recipes we access are from the US and the UK. The US uses pounds and ounces, so it will automatically go into that if you've chosen a recipe for that. Back here, we've got my recipes. I have a couple of recipes that I have bookmarked that I use a lot. Created recipes. Now, if you are a current TM31 owner, you would know, you might well know about the Thermix recipe community. Well, you can import your favourite recipes from the Thermix recipe community into cookidoo and cook them from the screen of your TM6. It's not as smooth as the actual cookidoo recipes, but it is very doable, and I have quite a few recipes in there that I cook that way. We also have created collections. So these are collections of recipes which I'll show you on cookidoo in a minute that I have actually created myself, ones that I want to remember, or I've just categorized recipes. So, you know, you might have a whole lot of salads that you love, and you find those recipes and you put them into a salad collection. So when you're looking for a salad, you go, oh yeah, I'll go to my salad collection and I'll look in there. Or you might have, I've got one that's just basics, and that's my tomato sauce, my barbecue sauce, ghee, butter, you know, all those sorts of basics. Or I might have recipes that are nibbles or finger food or whatever, and I just group them together so that I know when I'm looking for a recipe like that, that's where I can go. I've also got saved collections, and I'll show you again on cookidoo in just a mo. They have collections of recipes, and you can save a whole collection. So just for example, let's see what I've got here. Okay, cooking with sugar stages. So with going up to 160 degrees in here, using the guided cooking, you can make honeycomb, you can make caramel. It will also brown your meat, it will caramelize your onions, all those sorts of things. So 160 degrees high heat is a really fantastic thing. You can stir fry. All right, so just looking in here, I've got caramel cake with fruit and caramel sauce, caramel custard, caramel parfait. You can make little kids' lollipops, fudge, popcorn, a salted caramel shortbread, walnut brittle. You could change the nuts, whatever you want to do. So those are some of my saved collections. And then I can actually populate my week. So tonight I'm doing a demo, and we are doing a fruity dream, the Caribbean curry, and the Brazilian cheese puffs. Tomorrow, I'm also going to make a zucchini slice, which just reminds me I better get onto that one. So if I click into here, this is where I'm just going to cook off the screen. Cookidoo is connected to your, if you've got an account, doesn't matter where it is. It could be on your phone, it could be on your computer, and whatever you do on there to put it into your week, it will turn up on here. And then we cook using guided cooking. So we go start cooking. It's asking me to heat the oven, greasing and lining my dish. The scales come up, 100 grams of cheddar cheese. Put my lid on. And there, it's asking me, it said it's going to chop for 5 seconds. All I need to do is turn the speed selector to speed 6. All right, and so on. Transfer to a bowl and set aside. Add my zucchini. There we are, scales up again. Pop the lid on. Chop 4 seconds on speed 4, and so on. And it just steps me right through the recipe. Really simple compared to, I remember when I had my TM31, I would spend my whole time going back from the recipe book to the screen, to the recipe book, and I'd get, okay, it was, 2 minutes, and it was, say, 90 degrees. Oh, what speed was it again? Go back to my book, and then come back again. Here, it's all done for you. All you have to do is turn up the speed. So really quite an amazing thing. Now, I'm just going to check my screen. Yep, I've got that there. I'm going to share my screen. Don't ask me why it logs me out of cookidoo, because I'm in it all the time. Come on. Oh, log in. Here we go. Oh, yes. Sign up. Oh, no, I don't want to sign up. Oh, no. Let's go back. Sorry, it's because I had a bit of the screen go away. I don't want a new account. Go back one. Oh, yeah, logged in. All right. So in here, I can, if I start at the very beginning, let's go explore. Oh, log in again. Right. What would I like to cook? Well, on this Tuesday, February 28th from 9 till 11, updating and seasoning cookie dough. So that means from tomorrow, if you have saved recipes into a collection, you can access them. But if you got them into my week, you won't be able to. So anyway, I know that the latest collection of recipes is all to do with chili. It got some recipes that it recommends for me, a bit about the cutter, scaling your recipes. So you can scale your recipes up and down depending on how many people are there for dinner. The most cooked, oh yeah, cocktails back in. Look at that, 3 cocktails: espresso martini, mango daiquiri, and margarita. The blade cover peeler, different types of ice cream, etc., etc. Now, I might go, all right, I know I want to make that zucchini slice. Actually, no, look at something else. Zucchini, well, I haven't spelled that right, but anyway, let's see what it comes up with. Luckily, it knows what I'm trying to do. Zucchini cupcakes. All right, so look at this. Just to show you, this is an American recipe. Zucchini cupcakes with cream cheese. Right, I'm going to actually add that to my week. And in a minute, I'm going to show you where it will turn up on the TM6. So I've just done that on my computer. But, you know, I might have a look at these and go, oh, okay. That's the slice I'm actually going to make. Doesn't that look amazing? There's some beautiful, beautiful recipes. That looks really good too. So I might go, I want to actually remember that. I'll add it to a collection. I'm just going to put it in here just for ease. My recipes, created collections. There it is. Okay. I go to my week, so I can add a recipe to my week. I said I was going to do the zucchini slice. I have I'm just going to clear this, and then I'm going to add some things back. So if I was shopping for tonight, I'm going to add to shopping list, add to shopping list, add to shopping list. Here we go, show the ingredients. I don't need to buy the sugar, I've got that. Don't need to buy the water, I've got the arrowroot. So you click off all the things that you don't need to buy, that you know you've got in your cupboard. All these things, they're all part of the curry powder. And if there's other things that you want to add, you add them in here. So let's go to zucchini. Just add that in there. All right. Now, if I'm doing that from the screen of my computer, I come up to the top, I can actually share that with someone and send it to them to do the shopping for me, or I can go to Woolworths online. And I can, if I don't want macro kidney beans, I can swap them and I can add them to my Woolworths cart for click and collect, or obviously on, you know, home delivery. That is a really, really, really quick overview of cookie dough. And if you go to my my YouTube channel, so Mandy Powers Thermomix Consultant on YouTube, if you put in there, you will see I've done far more on cookie dough there. But this is just a quick overview of the two. And if I now get out of this recipe, cancel the recipe, yep, and come in here and go to my week, I added in for tomorrow the zucchini cupcakes, and you can see that they're right there. So when it comes to tomorrow, if I decide I want to make them, click on that, and off I go. So what's convenient about that is that if you've got someone else who's going to be home before you, you just go, all right, it's there, it's ready to go, off you go, you can start cooking, and I'll catch up when I get home. All right, let me have a look and see if there's anything else that I haven't mentioned that I should mention. I think I've done pretty well. Yeah. So the only thing I haven't mentioned is about the motor. So it is a reluctance motor, which is a, there's magnetism involved in there somehow, but what it means, it doesn't have lots of moving parts. So the TM31 goes from 100 RPMs to 10,200 RPMs. And the TM6 goes from 40 RPMs to 10,700 RPMs, and that is the same as a small jet engine. So it is a super powerful machine. And one other thing before I love you and leave you is it's much quieter. And one of the reasons for that is our wonderful measuring cup. So that actually quietens down the noise. I'm not saying that you won't hear the power of the motor when you're doing nuts or ice, but it is quieter than the TM31. And one more thing, because I keep remembering things. Let's go back out of there. Home, settings, sounds. Now, if you don't want to hear your Thermix chiming for hours and hours, you have control over the volume of the sound and the duration of the sound. So I have mine going for 10 seconds, which gives me 4 chimes, and then it stops, and I have it on low. But I could, if I was, didn't have, my hearing wasn't great, I could have it really loud, or I have it right down there, or you can have it anywhere in the middle. Okay, so I think that is pretty much it. Lots more functions in the TM6. Having cookidoo is just a lifesaver because you don't end up cooking the same things over and over and over again. It's got your shopping list. It's a whole system. Easy way to save money. You plan your shop, you plan, you save money. With cookidoo, you can also, as you saw me put zucchini in there, I have a zucchini in the fridge, I pop it in there, it's going to give me recipes I can use it up in. So it's going to save you money. It's going to save you time because you're not going backwards and forwards between your recipe book and your screen. It saves you a massive amount of time just with the meal planning with cookidoo. Decide what you want to do, pop it in there, get your shopping list. And even if I don't buy online like that, but my cookidoo on my phone, which is this little one here, there, I have my shopping list. So that shopping list that we just did before is coming up on there, all right? And so I take that to the shops with me and I click everything off as it goes into my basket. So really fantastic time saver. We know that, knowing what you put into your body means, you can eat a lot more healthily as well. So if you've got any questions, feel free to give me a call, 0408564466, or send me an email, mandypowers.thermomix@gmail.com, and I can show you more. Thanks.